Friday. We talked about Dion, Jon today. I mean, how did everybody respond and the process of making this change?
Yeah, I mean, it happened quickly this morning. I saw Jon last night, in fact, around meetings, and he was fine, that I could tell. And then we got the heads up this morning, and so we went into action. And I credit the players, credit the coaches, just next man up approach, and then went out there and executed.
Jon, what did you see from Epic?
Yeah, I think he had 2 sacks, right? Especially one in a big moment of the game there when we needed it. So that 4-man rush, getting that 4-man rush going, it's important for us.
What makes Devin Singletary so effective? Not the biggest, strongest guy, not the fastest guy, but came in averaging 4.9 yards per carry and had a great game today.
Yeah, I think you saw some of it out there today. I mean, there's times where his momentum got stopped, but his pistons kept running, right? I mean, he just kept churning those legs and got another 2, 3, 4 yards out of it sometimes. So, it's fun to watch when he does that.
Is there something you'd like to see him as the feature back moving forward?
Yeah, I'm not going to get into feature back. Just,
Was there a lift in seeing him get that?
I have a lot of confidence in Devin. Yeah, I'm sorry.
A lift seeing him get that early touchdown?
Yeah, I mean, to mix it up like we did there, I thought was good, and thought that was a good drive for us. And then to anytime you score in particular on the ground, the offensive line loves it. So it's good to get those guys some just reward for their work there.
Sean, offensively, when you know they basically can't kick a field goal, are you thinking of that all 4 downs? Is it at certain points that you realize it might be a little bit different depending on where they are on the field?
Yeah, I mean, as we were talking about this a minute ago, it seems like it should be easier, and in certain ways it is, but in certain ways it's more difficult because you're not sure what that 3rd and 7 is going to be. Is it going to be traditional drop back, or is it going to be the quarterback zone read stuff, and it just puts you in a little bit of a bind defensively, but I thought they handled it well.
I was going to ask you, Jon, what are your thoughts on the contribution from Gabe Davis?
Yeah, tremendous. Another game where he showed up. It was productive for us. Love his mindset. He's big, he's strong, he's tough. And again, mentally, he was working while I was waiting. And today, I think you saw it again where he produced for us and made some big plays.
Sean, what did you see from Josh out there? Obviously, he was dealing with that foot sprain leading up to the game. Just from your perspective, what did you see from his performance today?
Yeah, I thought I liked how he settled in after the first series or 2, and we got a good rhythm going at times, and thought he made some really big time throws. The scramble on 3rd and it was 3rd and 6 situation. I think they were man coverage, and Josh saw it and took off with it. So that was a big play for us. And and again, just the things you guys don't see from a leadership standpoint. Some things in the locker room before the game at halftime I thought were big for us also.
Jon, I saw you take Spencer out briefly. He had 5 penalties today, including a taunting there at the end. What'd you say to him, and how do you make that a coachable moment or a teachable moment?
Yeah, he's a good player, young player for us, and he showed his youth, and so I just wanted to settle him down and remind him it was all about the team, and I think in the end this will be a good learning opportunity for him.
How difficult is it for a young player, especially, to kind of flip over like that? I know he had some reps in the spring and the summer. How difficult is that, especially when they went out?
Yeah, it's not easy for any player, young or veteran in this case, to you study one side of the deal and who you may play against on this side, and then all of a sudden you're playing against maybe somebody else on the other side. So it's a little bit different, especially when it's the morning of the game.
Sean, defensively, of course, turnover at the end, but looked like there were a couple of different times where you had your hands on the ball, defense, DBs especially.
Yeah, we got to.
You kind of left a few out there.
Yeah. I mean, that's something I've already been thinking about, and we got to come up with those. I think we had 2 or 3, maybe more than that, opportunities. We've got to come up with those, and I'm confident our guys will.
Sean, from a timing standpoint, because we don't know necessarily how this stuff works, but what time was it today when you found out that Jon wasn't going to be available for you?
I'm going to approximate for you here, Tim. It's probably between 9 and 10 o'clock this morning.
I'm asking you because you find out at 7, that's a little bit more time, but I mean,
Yeah.
that's a serious crunch there. How does that affect your routine of when you're filling out your lineup and deciding who's active and not, and what can you take us into what those meetings were like with you and Bobby or with Brian, or how do you deal with that?
Well, in this case, it was Brandon, Nate, myself primarily, and then we just communicate what the options are to the coaches after that, and so you know, sometimes those options are pretty obvious, sometimes they're not obvious, and so we're just trying to help. We just tried to help work through some of those situations, and again, I applaud the players and the coaches.
So what did it do after the Pats loses to your competitive mindset, your team knowing that your destiny's now in your hands? You run the table, you win the division.
Say that again, Jerry. I'm sorry.
What did it do for your mindset after the Pats win, knowing you control your own destiny?
Yeah, you know, we've got to keep it about us, and you know, this will be a game. They came in here and beat us last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever it's been. So obviously we have some adjusting to do, and we've got to have a good week of preparation.
In light of the adversity shown over the past couple of weeks, from that New England game to what happened down at Tampa Bay, what does today's win mean and maybe do for this?
Well, it's another win. You know, I think it really just, you know, these last 2 weeks have been hard. We got a lot of competitive guys in that locker room, and they want to win, and to come up short in the last 2 weeks, you know, against two good football teams, especially with a chance to win it in the fourth quarter, those are tough. So hopefully, you know, down the stretch, we will have learned from those situations and gotten better as a football team.
What is the approach this week, the importance of next Sunday, in terms of mindset, mentality, you know, how aggressive you want your guys to be? Do you feel that you've been in this situation different times over the past few years? You need to pull them back. I mean, what do you expect for these next few days of preparation?
I just think we got to stay on task, keep our focus on and where it needs to be, and you know, we've got a lot of things to correct from today's game. You guys saw that, and I think that's the start, right? That's you got to start somewhere, and that's where we got to start this week.
Harder because you have the distraction of Christmas too, like how it
You know, I think that's part of being a professional athlete or a professional coach. I mean, we're usually working around whether it's Thanksgiving like we were this year or now Christmas, and that's what goes with the job.
Did you watch any of the game last night?
I did, yeah.
What did you take away from it?
It was a good game. You know, those games, it started one way, but in the NFL, those games usually get close, and it got close. And obviously, I thought it was a well and hard-fought game, and so two good football teams going at it.
In general, you're used to watching all 22. You don't have broadcasters when you're going through your film and all that stuff. How do you watch a game? I mean, can you enjoy it, or can you, when you're watching everything go left to right as opposed to the end zone camera and everything?
Yeah.
How do you do it?
I don't know. You just sit and watch and try and learn, and
Do you get anything out of it watching off TV?
yes, you try to. And that's not just playing that, you know, because we're playing them next. If you're just a fan of football and you're trying to learn and you're watching other people do things and things you try and pick up along the way. So that's it.
Do you leave the sound on or off? Do you listen to what
Both.